Nelson Mandela said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." For a young Black girl growing up in the suburbs of New York City, in a divorced household, father working in the school system, mother taking her high school diploma and trying to get back into the workplace with only housewife on her resume, impossible was my middle name. Highly unlikely was my confirmation name, for those of you who are Catholic faith. Why did it feel impossible? Because you only know what you see. I believe that we are all born into an atmosphere of inequity. But in spite odds, I persevered everything. I am dope. My parents taught me early that I would always have to be better than the best because I looked different, talked differently, and would have different thoughts than others. And I worked hard, going above and beyond the others to earn my place, especially at work, at corporate tables, with the extra schooling, working late, the on the job training, honing my presentation style to brown nose with influencers and senior leaders. If you've been there, me too. But there were always haters, naysayers, and those who wanted to keep you down. Sometimes the person keeping you down is the one staring back at you in the mirror. Today, I want to share with you 3 ways to persevere in corporate where our odds of success remain low. In my 25 plus years of working in corporate, I was often the only leader of color in the room. Now, early in my career, I would sit in meetings where all eyes were on me, feeling like they were burning a hole through my heart, judging me, speaking to me in a tone that questioned why and how I got there, and waiting for me to fail. As much as I earned the rights I deserved to be at that table, imposter syndrome started to creep in. And with every promotion I received, a little more self doubt kicked in. I let those verbal and emotional words and thoughts weigh me down until June of 2016, when I was terminated from my job due to a company downsize. When I received my notice of being laid off, I went home that night, went into my bathroom, and leaned into the mirror. Out of the corner of my left eye, I could see my best friends, my baby aspirin, my blood pressure and cholesterol pills, and extra strength Excedrin. Out of the corner of my right eye, I could see $50,000 worth of lotions, foundations, concealers, eyeshadow, eyeliners, eyelashes, lipsticks, powders, blush. I had so many products. RuPaul came to me for makeup advice. The items on my left were keeping me alive. The items on my right made me look alive. But looking straight ahead, I didn't recognize who that was. I was gaining weight. My eyesight was worsening. The shine in my smile was dimming. Max Lucado said, "A man who wants to leave the orchestra must turn his back to the crowd." I knew being in leadership, there would always be a bullseye on my back. It was part of the job. But was I cut out for this? Was I accelerating my death trying to climb the hill of leadership? I needed to regain my strength. Trends showed that it takes African Americans twice as long to find employment than whites. And while I was financially fortunate to be able to be out for an extended period of time, I really didn't want to. So I sought the assistance of a career coach. And she asked me a great question. She said, "At your last job, what were you expecting?" I said, "I was working hard, doing all the right things, and I was hoping to be promoted." She said, "That was your problem." Hope is not a strategy. Hmm. Hope is about desire or a wish, not action. How many of you have had hope riding shotgun in your personal or professional life? Yeah, action takes energy, and energy comes from confidence, something I wish I had more of earlier in my career. We have heard that confidence is the key in life, but how many of you grew up in a home where the protocol was children should be seen and not heard? That was me. Or maybe you had a tiger mom or tiger dad where nothing you did was good enough. You never got a great job, a pat on the back, nor a high five. We carry those emotional scars into adulthood where we hope to be validated by our significant other, children, coworkers, managers, but we're not. Are you yearning to accelerate your career, create your own equity in the marketplace, but feel the odds are stacked against you? Here are 3 ways to persevere in a corporate environment and some actions you can take right away. Number one, be vocal and stop being so sensitive. Yes, I said it. The whole world is not looking down on you. They are not wanting you to fail. You have gotten to where you are in life because you persevered. You are great at what you do. You do belong in the room. You can't always control what others think, but you do control what you think, do, and say. Here's an activity you can do tomorrow. Be brave and ask a question. I'm an introvert. I always have a fear that the question I ask will be deemed as stupid or be taken out of context, lessen my value. But I always start off first by asking for grace by saying, can you help me understand? Or maybe I missed a previous meeting where this may have been discussed in more detail. And then I ask my question. I get forgiveness before I ask the question. And usually my question is just to gain more clarity, to learn, to follow up. But I always make sure I have another question in mind that will make the audience think. Number one, be vocal and not so sensitive. Number two, be visible and expand your network. And assembling a personal board of advisors, as I call them, is not something we're good at. African Americans have fewer productive personal and professional social networks than compared to whites. Look for people who look like you, do what you do, or do what you want to do. And it is not what they can do for you, but what you can do for them. Here's your action for tomorrow. If you don't have a person in each one of those categories I mentioned, get one. My personal board of advisors is a diverse group. Because I've been working in finance forever, there isn't anyone who looks like me. So that set of contexts for me have always been white, which is fine because not only are they mentors, they are sponsors because they are in all those meetings that I am not in and will speak on my behalf when it comes to what I'm working on, what my aspirations are, and will network for me for new opportunities. I was recently promoted to a vice president at my company, and I know the combination of my networks and my mentors and my sponsors absolutely played into me getting the role I have today. Increasing your network does expand your visibility. Number three, how to be successful in both number one and two is by having value in what you say. The quote, it's not what you know, but who you know, is correct, but it really does come down to what they know about you. Every conversation must be profound. And I love acronyms, and profound is an acronym. It stands for positively reflects our finest observations, uniqueness, intelligence, I cheated on the N, and determination. And now this activity requires some work. Your homework for tomorrow will be look at your calendar, pick a meeting that you have to attend, and prepare a profound question. You may need to do some outside research, refer back to some previous meeting notes, but know when and what you're going to ask. I had a sponsor I met with every month last year. For every meeting, I had an agenda, and it included what I wanted to talk about because I wanted to make sure he understood my thought process and deep thinking, my intelligence, and my perception of situations as an African American female. That was scary every month and required a lot of confidence. But during those meetings, we both learned being profound adds value. Those are just three of the many actions I took once I secured a new job in September of 2017 and enabled me to get a promotion to vice president in January of 2022. Despite odds, I persevered everything, and you can too. If you DM me on Instagram with the word dope, you will receive 3 digital downloads. I call it the Dope Perseverance Pack. You will get 8 simple ways to supercharge your motivation, 9 steps to progress your career now, and 10 activities from my upcoming new book, Gaining Access to Getting Promoted in Corporate, 50 activities critical to continuous evolution and success for self. I am Elizabeth Dr. E. Carter, your visibility, vocal, and valued coach. I equip ambitious women of color with strategies to be visible, vocal, and valued so that they can accelerate their opportunities in the workplace. I can work with you to change your impossible and highly unlikely because you are dope. Despite odds, persevering everything. Thank you.